Howdy everybody. Today I wanted to talk about and give you guys a little information on how an airsoft gun works. Yes, this is an airsoft gun. Shoots plastic BBs. By the orange tip, we can see that. This is what a full version or a complete gun would look like. Now for my other gun, I can show you pieces and what they do inside of it of how this works. Compression, physics, that kind of stuff. Basically, the gut of your gearbox, what makes everything work, its guts, its heart, everything, is right here. It's called the gearbox. This is basically what it looks like right about here. This is out of the gun. Normally, this would be inside the gun and fit just like that. Basically, how it works is that this is going to be inside your gun. All your gears, springs, pistons, everything like that is inside this gun. What happens when makes it fire is that an electrical current by a wire running out of here to the front or to the back of your gun is going to have a battery hooked up to it. That's going to send an electrical current, and that's going to start everything working up in here. But now we're going to see the pieces of what makes this thing really work, the guts inside of here. The first thing that we need to know is what controls your FPS, or how hard this gun shoots, feet per second. And that's mainly going to be controlled about 95% control by this thing right here. This is going to be your spring. They go anywhere from about M40 to about M180. That's just the degree and toughness of the spring. M180s can get your gun shooting 500 plus feet per second, or FPS, like I said before. M40s can get your gun shooting about 150 FPS, feet per second. So there's a big drop off. Why would you want some over the others? Depends where you're playing. If you're playing at a lot of places that are indoor, then you're not going to want to be shooting really hard to hurt people. So basically how this thing works is that inside of your gearbox, it's going to have this. It's going to be a spring guide go in the back. This is going to hold it inside of your gearbox, because as you can see, this is obviously bigger than the gearbox. So you're going to compress the spring, and this spring guide right here that's normally made out of metal is going to hold the spring compressed inside of there. As you can see right here, it has a little screw hole in the back. This helps you take a screwdriver and put it in so you can compress the spring, so when you open up the gearbox shell, it doesn't pop everywhere. Now, how does this thing get your FPS, you say? Well, first you have your cylinder and piston, these two pieces right here. The piston right here goes inside the cylinder. Then you have your spring go inside the piston like this, and this all gets squished in and goes inside your gearbox. Now, the front of this is called the air nozzle. When your gun has the gears in it, pulls this piston back, it's going to slam forward. And the tougher your spring is means the harder it's going to slam forward, because it takes more energy to pull back. Now when it slams forward, you have the air that pops out of the gun right here out of the nozzle, pops out of the nozzle, and you get the air going towards the front of your gun to push your BB. Now what makes this whole thing work is 3 gears. 1, 2, and 3. Your pinion, your sector, and your pivot. Now, what those gears do is they go in order, they stack on top of each other inside of the gearbox. There are going to be 3 holes you can see right here. Each one's going to sit in each hole and then spin on an axis, which is taken out. This is just a shell. Now, when they spin against each other, they're going to take the piston like this, and on its teeth right there, the gears are going to spin and grab the teeth on the piston with this teeth on the gear. That's going to cause this to move back with the spring inside of it, pull the spring back with it, and have a slam forward. So now, basically, it's pretty simple. You have the gear spinning, the gears pull the piston back, the piston has the spring in it, so as the piston's getting pulled back, it then slams forward into the piston, causing your compression. Better compression, better accuracy, more FPS. So that's basically how it works. Now, to properly maintain your gun, which is very important because you don't want your gun to be scraping metal on metal, you gotta put grease and lube in there. But you gotta find the correct kind that doesn't eat away plastic, because there are some plastic pieces in there. Now, if you keep it properly lubed, then the gears are gonna spin evenly against each other and not rub. Because when they rub really fast, they're gonna cause friction. And that can cause your teeth to break off, and once your teeth break off, gearbox shot. So you want to keep it properly lubed. As you can see, my hands are pretty dirty just from touching those pieces, just because they have grease on them. And that grease is just going to keep, like I said, everything properly lubed, everything moving properly without a lot of friction so that teeth don't break and your piston teeth don't fall off, because that's the last thing you want. Then you have to take your whole gun back apart, buy new pieces, and nobody wants to buy new pieces. So like I said, basically, your airsoft gun is just made out of compression and physics. Piece comes back, slams forward due to the amount of pressure pulling it back, and there you go. That's how you have your airsoft gun working. Like I said, keep it properly maintained, and you will be a very happy customer on the airsoft field.